Max Infeld and Adam McBride. So do you guys want to come on screen? And we got Adam.
I'm always jealous of Max's background, man. And that's like not even a fake background. That's like an amazing studio, man. What's up, Max? How you doing, brother?
What is up? Good to see you, Adam.
All right. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk about the history and future of NFTs.
Go ahead, Max.
Oh, man. So I'm Max. I'm one of the Curio card artists. Curio card is known as the first art on Ethereum. It was rediscovered by Adam McBride and a few other awesome community people. Brought it forward beginning of last year, and by the end of last year, in October, we were at Sotheby's and Christie's all in the same month. I've professionally been involved with blockchain about 5 years. I've been in it for almost since the beginning of crypto. I'm an artist, as you can see. I got art behind me. I'm really into using community currencies as a form of engagement. I made my own currency in 2007 and was involved with a lot of artist communities early on using their own currencies. And fast forward to today, I'm involved with a project called Alien Worlds. I'm community strategist and product manager over there. We use NFTs as DAO pieces, or use DAOs as NFT pieces, I should say. And it's one of the few games that utilizes in-game DAOs, and it's also one of the most used blockchain applications with over 200,000 daily active users. Really incredible project. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it.
Which one is that?
Alien Worlds. You can check it out at alienworlds.io.
Great. Awesome. Adam.
Well, I've, the 30-second is I've been spending about a little over a year now rediscovering old blockchain projects. Curio cards is one of the first I've ever found out about. But what I've been trying to do is just tell the history of NFTs, because I think it's important to understand how we got to this point of the modern NFT to kind of understand a little bit of where we're going. I don't think anybody in the world knows exactly where we're going, but I think we're all pretty excited about it. And so I've been digging in and kind of rediscovering old projects that were built in, 2016, 2017, and further back as well. And just trying to bring those projects to light and make people understand and aware of how really artists built the modern NFT. And it's really, it's been a fascinating ride.
Okay. Well, that brings to mind then what is your criteria for, an NFT or something that's going to make your list?
Yeah, well, that we've debated for months on end about what's an NFT, right? I think we've settled on generally the consensus is an NFT is a digital collectible. So it doesn't have to be a one of one. The definition of a modern NFT as being this one of one unique thing is quite new. Back when like Curio was launched, there were series and each card had a number of different a number. There was more than one. So, right, you would have 2,000 of one card. They were thinking about it kind of like baseball cards. So the very early NFTs, a lot of them followed that same path. You guys all know about Rare Pepes, same sort of deal where you have multiples of the same card. So that I think most people agree is an NFT.
Okay. So let's maybe talk about your origin stories and some of your aha moments where, it finally hit you what this means.
I mean, for me and the work I've done over the last year, there was 1 week last March where there were 4 rediscoveries of old NFT projects, Crypto Cats, Moon Cats, Curio cards, and this project called Etheria, all happened within the same week. And when that all happened, I realized, oh my gosh, there are these digital items that were built, years ago to no fanfare and failed as projects, most of them. But these were the first of their kind. These were really the first uniquely ownable digital collectibles. And I think we're only beginning to understand how impactful that's going to be on our society. Like we're just thinking about it as, punks and apes. And we haven't even really begun to experience the impact of what owning a digital item is going to be for our society. And so for me, that was a big wake-up call. Like, oh my gosh, these are there. All I got to do is go dig through the blockchain and find some of these things and dig up the gold. And that's what I did for God, 10 hours a day for the following 6 months. It was pretty amazing.
We'll go through that in a little bit. But Max,
Yeah,
your a couple aha moments.
that last that last March and April was I got the feeling it was going to be life changing, but I didn't know to what extent. And I mean, not just for me, but like friends and family and just everyone in my general vicinity is still processing the how much crazy stuff went down. But yeah, I mean, I started getting messages back then. Beginning in March, I started getting weird messages. People asked me if I had cards. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and then I made the connection from Adam. And he's like, hey, could I talk to you about this project you're involved in? And I thought he just wanted the founders of Curio, who they basically made this project that didn't end up kind of going anywhere back then. And then like, oh, like, sure, I don't know why you'd even want this information. Pretty weird, but sure, here you go. And and it turned into just seeing really quickly that this was a unique one of a kind project. And I didn't even know that they were referred to as NFTs, and that was even crazier. I just thought we're making some tokens on that had a picture attached to them. And so yeah, that whole thing has been absolutely crazy. I finally ended up selling art towards the end of the year, large quantities of art. I'm like, whoa, can actually make some money off of art? Like that's as a living artist, like what? This is
Well, let's
so anyway.
talk.
That was it.
Let's talk about that before and after. So, like, how you would explain, what you were doing in NFTs to friends and family and others before and sort of after.
Yeah, I've always been more of an educator. So I've always, for like 10 years, like showing people how to use Bitcoin, Ethereum, the different EOS.io blockchains. Just kind of that's kind of been my foundation. So even 5 years ago with Curio cards, I invited a bunch of other artists to participate because I'm like, look, like you can turn your art into this digital thing, and it's wacky and weird, and it's cutting edge, whatever that means. But yeah, I mean, I don't even think they listened to me until they started seeing the stories on like CNN and MSNBC and all those. So yeah, it's been a wild journey.
Adam, any stories from before, sort of, and after, and sort of like people, I don't want to say mocking your work, but sort of shaking their head, not understanding it, and now being like, wait a minute, let's talk about this.
Well, it's funny because when I first started diving into old projects on the blockchain, and we were basically this very, very small community of a few hundred people were talking about these projects and came up with the label of like historical NFTs. Everybody, I mean, it was wide waves of people on Twitter. You're a scammer. This is scams. This is stupid. But I think, as we've progressed over the last year, people get it. People who actually understand it get it. They realize that these are the very first digitally verifiably ownable items in the world. And so you have these items from as far back as 2011 that people are like, holy cow, especially crypto native people, where they feel like we're moving to a world that's going to be crypto's going to play a huge part in it. And that these are the very first digitally ownable items is really, really enticing from a collection standpoint. And I think one of the big things over the summer in July, August, we had a couple of these projects, be it Christie's and Sotheby's, and Curio was there and Max was there and stuff. And, I think from a digital artist perspective, that just like planted the flag. Like, here we are. This is legit. They legitimized NFTs as, real art kind of thing. And I think that was a big thing that just kind of moved the entire space forward, and it was a big moment.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that in terms of Christie's and Sotheby's. Were you there at the auctions? What was it like being in the art world?
Well, I got to give it to Max, because for Max, that's like a life-changing thing, right? To have your art at Sotheby's and Christie's. I'll pass that to Max.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. I mean, I've told the story a few times, but for this audience, I just got to share it. In college, I studied computer science and art. And then when I got to studying art, I was extremely prolific because I was taking these concepts of like using algorithms and generating community-based artwork and things like that. And I remember talking to my cohorts and saying like, would it be crazy if like after we died we would go to Christie's? And they actually, some of my friends still remember me saying this. And then to actually do it as a living artist is the most bizarre thing on the planet, because that's like you get to that, and then what else? I mean, that's it. Like you get there, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. It's like I don't even need a resume anymore. It's like they just see it. People, so I've had a lot of people come to me wanting to do collaborations and engagements based on the similar series of art. So truly life-changing experience with just that. But being at Christie's and Sotheby's in the same month, like that's kind of a lot. Like I mean, there's very few artists that have even received that. One of the artists at Curio, also Cryptopop, he's the first Filipino artist to be there at Christie's. It's like
amazing.
Holy, yeah, it's unreal. So yeah, truly life-changing for all of us there.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's like, I've studied the entire history of NFTs, and to realize when you go back to the early attempts on, Namecoin and Counterparty, Bitcoin, these were artists looking to create provenance for their work, and for it to come full circle, where artists are now celebrated, artists are able to make a living, Max is able to reach a global audience and sell to a global audience through NFTs. It's pretty magical.
Awesome. Great. Are there any stories that you have of people, missing out on opportunities, or
oh my God, all I got to do is wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, brother. The list of missed opportunities. I could have bought. I was there for the Curio rediscovery. I could have had basically unlimited Curio cards for $5 a piece, right? But I misread the smart contract and thought each card had 100,000 of them. I didn't realize there was a burn mechanism. I missed out on, I don't know, $500,000 or more in cards in that afternoon. So that's just the start.
The worst one is for me. I didn't even have any Curio cards. Like I had zero. I didn't purchase any of them. I didn't buy my own Curios. So in 2017, I didn't have a single one. So
yeah, I mean, just to put in context, one of Max's cards, I think, sold for what, 250 ETH or something like that. So this is the kind of prices it went up to last August when they were really pumping. It's incredible.
Wow. Any good stories of people that you've come across that had them tucked away in their wallet drawer that suddenly through your efforts that
through my efforts, for example, I helped rediscover this project called Pixel Map, which was built in 2016 by this guy Ken, who was basically building the smart contract to learn Solidity, right, on Ethereum, and built a 4,000 tile pixel map. And I found him, and we re-released that project in August of last year. And, he made $4 million in that afternoon and still holds, I don't even know, 800 of the tiles. So that was a huge win. I'll put the link in there. They did a This American Life about that particular episode of the last year. It was a fun one.
Well, that's pretty wild. So I guess I'm going to put you on the spot and say, who plays you two in the film that's going to be produced in the next few years?
Oh man, I was hoping it would be a reality show we could play ourselves. There's just so much behind the scenes. There's so much drama and so much crazy stuff going on with the historical communities. So yeah, coming to a reality show near you.
There you go. Well, Adam, tell us a little bit about the effort that you put in and how you found some of these, and the late nights, I suppose, or some of the struggles.
Yeah, I mean,
you had.
Basically for me, early going, it was all through Google, time-based searches on Google. Not looking for like NFTs, because NFTs weren't a word back then, but digital art, collectibles, and just kind of going through Google, Reddit, and searching like that. But I've told the story about with Pixel Map, where I was just literally going through, I use a site that basically lets you search the blockchain by keywords. And, I'm punching in, whatever. And I think I ended up on Pixel, and Pixel actually found that one. But I mean, there's difference between finding a project and a project that will actually work. There's lots of stuff that was kind of Ponzi-nomics, I call it, tokenomics back then, where you bought something and it immediately relisted, or somebody else could buy it from you without you being able to control it, and all these kind of things that don't kind of jibe with what the modern market wants in an NFT. So literally you've gone through hundreds, if not thousands, of contracts to try and find ones that would work. And so now it's pretty vibrant. The community of historic projects is pretty vibrant, and I invite people to come and follow us and engage on Twitter with us.
Awesome. So I think I see your Twitter handle in there, Max, if you want to let people know how to follow you. But we got a few more minutes, so why don't we just do some closing thoughts, whether it's on the history or the future of NFTs. Adam, why don't we go first, and then Max, we'll have you close this out. So maybe a minute each.
Sure. Well, I mean, for me, I think I lived through the entire birth of the internet. And so I literally, I'm humble enough to know I have no idea where this is going. But I do know I'm amazingly excited. I've never been more excited about anything in my life as far as business goes. And I've run multiple businesses over the course of my life. I know in my core that crypto and NFTs are the future. And NFTs, I don't mean Bored Apes. I mean something far deeper. And I look to the artists and the developers and the builders to take us there. But in 10 years, it's going to be amazing, whatever it is we build.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Max, final words.
And where it's going. It's definitely DAOs for sure, without a doubt. I think as these communities develop these stores of value, and people start passing away, and these individual holders' tokens are never reclaimed, and things like that, there's a necessity to have like a multi-signature account that's dynamic and ever changing, and I think that can be easily accomplished through DAO structures. That there's some that exist now that need a little bit of tooling, and that's primarily what I work on with Alien Worlds is. How do we, use these stores of value to support community engagement? So I'm really looking forward to the future of blockchain and, being able to distribute, what people, what they're from their own resources, their own collective pool of resources. How do you get those, to their community? What happens when they pass away? How do they move it forward to their loved ones and such? I think all that can be solved with DAO. So I'm looking forward to that future. With Alien Worlds, I think a lot about utility of these things and how these can be used to add additional functionality to these communities, things like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing some incredible utility based on NFTs these next couple of years for sure.
Thank you. I really feel grateful for your time here, and I feel lucky to be a part of this. So thank you for spending time with us this afternoon. I really enjoyed hearing the stories and hearing about all your work.
Thanks, Ken.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ken.
Really appreciate it.